Going on, guys? This is Taylor Stuber with Locks DFS, bringing my favorite quarterback plays of this Week 4 NFL slate, just like I did last week. And last week, we know how that went. If you guys watched the video, went pretty well. We had Patrick Mahomes, Matt Ryan, and Jimmy Garoppolo before he went down with that ACL injury, which is really depressing because I'm a big fan of Marquise Goodwin, and it's hard to imagine him doing anything this year due to that. So these are the picks that we had last week. Mahomes ended up with 25 and 28 fantasy points. Matt Ryan, 43 and 40, which I suggested playing on DraftKings just for the discount of price at 5.7K, which is entirely too cheap. Jimmy Garoppolo, he fared decently well for his respective price. Maybe not so much on DK, but on FanDuel. But if you're a member of ours, you know we played Patrick Mahomes, which could have gone way better than it did. People who faded Mahomes got actually pretty lucky because if you actually watched the game, when he threw to his fullback Sherman, he got tackled on the 1 yard line, which set up for a chalky Kareem Hunt touchdown. And then they drew another pass interference, and Kareem Hunt got another touchdown on the 1 yard line. It seems like whenever the Chiefs get the ball, it seems like they're going to score a touchdown. This offense is pretty crazy. But before we get into my favorite plays this week, just let you guys know that we are doing a giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe on YouTube, take a screenshot, and then go to Locks DFS on Twitter and find this tweet and just go ahead and reply to it with the screenshot, and you'll be entered to win your choice of any package that we provide on locksdfs.com. And we'll select the winner this Friday on our podcast. So let's get into it. I really only have 2 cash game locks this week for quarterback. One being Matt Ryan. He's scored 9 touchdowns in the last 2 games, 7 passing, 2 rushing. And I think it has a lot to do with Devontae Freeman. If you listen to our previous podcast, we've told you guys multiple times with Devontae Freeman out, it really opens up everything in the red zone, because the reason Devontae Freeman is so good in fantasy is because his touchdown equity is so high. Without him in there, Matt Ryan and other guys can have a lot higher chance of scoring touchdowns. 8 of those 9 touchdowns have came in the red zone, and we know Matt Ryan's really not known for throwing many touchdowns. And the emergence of Calvin Ridley, who scored 3 touchdowns last week and then 1 touchdown the week before, is really opening things up for Matt Ryan. And he's still not having the price that he deserves to have. 8.1K on FanDuel is pretty cheap. I think he's deserving to be up there with Drew Brees and Brady around the 9K range. But he's definitely throwing a lot more with Freeman out. And this game is set up to be one of the highest scoring games of the week. If we go over to Fantasy Labs, their team total has already risen from 26.75 to 28. And the Bengals has risen as well, which is really good for a potential shootout. The game as a whole opened at 48 and rose to 51, which is the highest on the slate. So I'm really in love with Matt Ryan here. He's also super cheap. He barely budged on DraftKings, moving from 5.7K to 6.1K. So very, very affordable. Really going to want to. It's really easy to fit him in, and I think he might be in a vacuum, probably a top 2, top 3 quarterback on the slate. So definitely give it the value. I would definitely be looking here for cash games, if not GPPs, depending on where the ownership lands as the week goes on. But the other quarterback that I'm really looking to is in the same game, actually, and that is Mr. Andy Dalton. He's 7.4K rather on FanDuel, and he is 5.4K on DraftKings. Super, super cheap. If you need that extra $700 for whatever reason you can't get up to Matt Ryan, I love Andy Dalton. Just talking about the same exact game, rising from 21.25 to 23, a 1 point differential since open. I'm really expecting a shootout here. The only thing that could be wrong is AJ Green's groin injury that knocked him out of the game early last week. But he thinks that he will be fine. Their coach Marvin Lewis said that he declined to say anything about it, but I would assume that he's playing, and if he's not playing, I probably would not go there. But I like him, and with the emergence of Tyler Boyd as well, I'm really liking it. Oh, also the fact that Joe Mixon is out, that Giovanni Bernard is not as good of a runner as Joe Mixon. If Joe Mixon is out, they're going to be passing the ball more. And we saw the last 2 weeks against the Falcons about McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara catching 14 and 15 passes respectively against the Falcons. So you could expect a big game from Giovanni Bernard in the passing game, which will eventually allude to a big game from Andy Dalton as well. So I really like both of these spots. I really want to target this game. This is my favorite game on the slate. This is Tuesday as I'm recording this, so I'm not very sure of how chalky this will be. We'll definitely find out as the week goes on, as more articles and more videos and more podcasts are posted. See where the public goes. But as of right now, I really like this spot for cash games and even GPPs. But yeah, so we are doing that giveaway. So if you guys do want to enter, remember, just subscribe, take a screenshot, find that tweet on Twitter on Locks DFX or at Locks DFS on Twitter. Reply to that comment with it, and then we'll pick the winner Friday. So I think Addy's posting a more of a GPP quarterback video today, and then tomorrow we'll post the running back videos, and then the wide receiver videos, and the tight end videos, and so on. So make sure to subscribe. We're trying to get out as much free content as we possibly can for you guys. So yeah, till tomorrow. Peace.